Hi, I'm Doug Ross, editorial page editor at the Times, here with Mark Kiesling, who's Times columnist, and this is a special edition of the NWI.com Political Roundtable. We're here to talk about, you guessed it, Rod Blagojevich. So, Mark, tell me what music would be appropriate when Blago went into the courtroom. Would it be the Darth Vader theme from Star Wars? Would it be the
I think Pirates of the Caribbean would have been better.
I was thinking the Price is Right theme song.
Yeah, well, I know. If there was a case of piracy, this was probably a case of piracy. So I kind of. Besides, I like the Pirates of the Caribbean theme.
Well, Blago liked the reality show, so he might have just appropriately for one.
Now, I mean, let's get right on to the heart of this. He was convicted on 17 of the 20 counts, found not guilty on 1 count, and 2 counts the jury could not come to a decision. What does this tell you?
Well, it tells me that he was just flat out guilty. I mean, here it took a second trial to do this. Well, that tells you what one juror can do. As for the hung jury on that 1 count, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I look at the counts. Most of the guilty counts were on wire fraud counts, relating to the purported attempt to sell then Senator Barack Obama's seat to the highest bidder.
Yeah, and Obama didn't have anything to do with it.
No.
Let's get that out of the way right away.
I think if he'd had anything to do with it, it would have come out by now, or maybe not. You never know. But no,
the conspiracy theorists thank you for that.
Well, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. My question is, with the with this damage to Blagojevich over the attempted sale of the Senate seat to the highest bidder in this case being U.S. Rep. Jesse Jackson, what is this going to do to him?
Well, what is it going to do to him? What is it going to do to the the quote-unquote third airport and Peatone? All those plans.
I think there's going to be some serious political damage to Jesse Jackson,
and we're going to have to see how that all plays out.
You can imagine that during his next election, that whatever opponent he has, be it the Democratic primary or the Republican general election, there's a ready-made issue here for people. Jackson himself was not charged, not implicated in any type of crime, but it's there's a kind of a cloud hanging there over him, saying, well, if Blago was trying to sell the Senate seat and he's guilty of negotiating to sell the Senate seat, and your high bidder was Jesse Jackson, what does this mean for him, and what does that mean for the South suburbs?
It means for his opponent that this opportunity is bleeping golden, as Blago might say. But I guess we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out.
Well, I think for us here at the Times, that's what we've got to look at. It's not so much the question of what happened in Springfield, and whether or not Rod Blagojevich was corrupt, but what does it mean for the South suburbs? And I think that's where the question lies. It's like, what is this going to mean for here? And a lot of the testimony centered around what kind of deals were being cut here in the South suburbs to essentially sell a United States Senate seat.
Well, I think one of the things it's going to do is it's going to make it a little bit harder to get a federal grant, for some of these areas, because they'll wonder, how is our money being spent? All kinds of things are going to come into question, in a pay-to-play business that Illinois was.
And you brought up the third airport. Opponents of the third airport, I think, are going to latch onto this really hard and say, look, the guy pushing the third airport really hard is, maybe not everything you want in a politician.
Yeah, well, it's a new era in Illinois, so.
No, it's an old era in Illinois. It's the same old era that we've seen governors go to prison now. We've seen Dan Walker go to prison. We've seen George Ryan go to prison. We saw Otto Kerner not go to prison, but be indicted. One of the federal prosecutors just said, if Illinois is not the most corrupt state in the United States, it's right up there with them.
Well, that's it for this special edition of the NWI.com Political Roundtable. I'm Doug Ross, editorial page at the Times, here with Mark Kiesling, Times columnist. Thank you for viewing.